Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm doing something a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from me. I'm going to be doing a life and other lesson series on my channel. Now, it will be spread out to different ones. It won't necessarily be like in some sort of order, but just have my notes here. I'm going to be talking about different categories of my life where I've actually learned lessons, and it can help people or it cannot help people. But I feel like in a lot of ways, I've learned a lot of lessons from it. So it kind of helps in, for me personally, with my own personal therapy and being able to get out the different things that I've learned, the different places that all these different experiences in my life have taken me. Just a lot of different things. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today, which was like a major life lesson that I learned, and it's actually going to be blunt, it's going to be raw. Like, I feel like one thing that I did as a mistake in the past is I sugarcoated a lot of stuff. So that's not going to happen. Like, I mean, it's not going to be this type of, oh, well, it's so sweet, or it's so pretty, it's so sugar-coated. And not that I don't like those things, but life is not sugar-coated. Life is pretty blunt. So when you learn these lessons, it's not gonna come to you with like a candy-coated topping. Like, it's gonna come to you as, here it is. Take it. Sorry, I thought that was a spider over there. I do not like spiders. Anyway, I had to look for it. Wait a minute. No, it's not. Okay. I don't even want to tell you what it is because it shows how ridiculous I can be in thinking I'm spotting any kind of bug, which I do not like bugs. This is what's going to happen. This is what you're learning. Any lesson that you're going to learn that's going to come from God is going to give it to you raw. So I hope you like this series. If you do, leave me a message below, a comment below. Let me know what you want to see with this series, or let me know what you want to see more from my channel, and give it a like or a thumbs up, and I really would appreciate that. So the first topic that we're going to talk about today is an interesting one. I have made a video about this before, probably about maybe 2 years ago or so, 3 years ago. And it's the topic of marriage. So I'm kind of going to start off by telling my story of marriage. I got married when I was maybe 22 or 23. I'm not sure. I just turned 40 this month. Oh, the big 4-0. So I got married when I was 22 or 23. Don't quote me on that, because it has been a while. I am now divorced, which I did make a video about that a couple of years ago, and I'll link that below if you want to see that. It's a pretty raw video about how I was feeling, everything that just happened. So for me, it's kind of depressing to watch, so I don't really like watching it, but I did see a lot of you guys did enjoy the video, so if you want to check it out below, you definitely can. First off, I will say, marriage is a great thing. I will never say that it's a bad thing at all. Marriage, if you find that right person that you want to be with for the rest of your life, if you want to share in whatever experiences, whatever, comes from the marriage, romance, everything. It's everything that you think it is. Now, some advice that I would give on marriage, just kind of learning from, and a lot of people say that divorcees should never give advice on marriage. I totally disagree on that, because I feel like we are the ones that are the best to give advice on marriage, because we've gone through it and we know the what's to do and what not to do in marriage. What to do's and not to do's. That sound grammar spectacular. Spectacular. I can't even speak today. So Some things that I will say for anybody out there who's getting ready to get married, if you're engaged, if you think you're going to be proposed to, whatever it is, if you're ready for marriage, the number one advice I will give anyone, guys, girls, make sure, and I cannot say this enough, make sure that you're mature enough for marriage. And I don't even want to get pissed off at that statement, but it speaks volumes. Because me personally, I met my ex-husband when I was 19. So I'm pretty sure you can see where this is going, like just to kind of start off everything. I've always personally been a bit mature for my age. So I guess you can say it's kind of like they say, like you're a, I'm trying to think of the best saying, like a grown child or like an adult child would probably be better to say. So I was more so like that. I didn't really do a lot of partying. I really didn't do much partying actually in high school or any of that. I always listened to my mom. I did what I was supposed to do. I had more interest in reading books. I had more interest in, you know, staying at home, chilling with her. So I was kind of mature for my age. I knew what I wanted to do right off the bat. I didn't really have a lot of peer pressure. None of that stuff really affected me any. Even though I did get married at not 19, but like 22 or 23, you have to be mentally mature for marriage. And when I say that, I mean mentally mature as in being able to share with someone else, being able to manage your money with someone else, being able to, kind of use the best word for this, being able to focus your attention on somebody else. You have to be prepared to be able to live your life jointly. I mean, we're always going to be individual people, but with that being said, once you become married, it's like a lot, you have a lot to do with that other person, no matter what you do. Everything is tied together with that other person, whether it's like finances or, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I'm trying to say. But I don't think I was mature enough to, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to, I barely knew how to take care of myself at that age. So it was like to try to take care of somebody else was kind of like, you know, you guys know exactly what I'm trying to say. Be mature enough to get married. It's kind of better to do marriage at an older age, like when you're in your 30s or your late 20s or something like that, when you already know specifically, you know, yourself, basically. And that leads me into lesson number 2. Know yourself. I cannot preach this enough, because if you're planning on spending the rest of your life with somebody else and you don't know who you are as a person, it's gonna lead to catastrophe. I did not know who I was as a person. I knew what I liked and what I did not like, but I had to learn who I was within me. I had to learn what Allison wanted. I had to learn what Allison wanted for herself. Like, I was in college. I wasn't, you know, I was just getting like my first dip of my toe into life. When I moved to Charleston, where I am now, that was my first time outside of like my hometown, you know, so get those life experiences, get those, know yourself, know exactly everything you like and dislike and what you want for your life before you can actually live it to be with somebody else. The third, probably one of the best things I would say, is that make sure that the person that you are marrying is that person for you. If you know that that person is the one that you want to be with for the rest of your life, and you know, we can't know that, and we can think that we know that, but I would probably say in my case, my ex-husband and I were better off as friends. We got along a lot better that way. And yeah, we stayed together for a very long time. We were married for 12 years, we were together for 18. So it was a very long relationship. And that, I don't feel like you really have to really elaborate on that a whole lot, because there's just times where you just know, like you can't explain it. You don't know how to explain it to anybody else. When you get that feeling, that's when you know. That's when you get married. That's when you do these things. To sum it up, because I really only have 3 tips, and those are the biggest tips. I would think that if you spoke to somebody else, they would actually tell you are the biggest tips for marriage, is to know yourself, make sure that person is the one, and make sure that you're mature enough for marriage. Because marriage is a huge thing and it takes a lot of work. Know who you are as a person. That's the best advice that I could give. You can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. And it took me a while to learn that too, because I finally am in love with myself, which is a good thing. I don't know if any of that makes sense. I hope it does. And I hope it helps, you if you're getting ready to get married, or if you're getting ready to, well, if you feel like you're preparing yourself for being that person that you want to be for that person that God's going to bring along to you, or whatever it is. I hope it helps. As far as divorce, just to kind of give a little bit of advice on that, because I kind of want to loop those in together, because it's not really a subject that I really enjoy talking about. But some things that they don't tell you about when you go in to get a divorce is a lot of paperwork. It's not like what you see on TV where you go get a lawyer. I mean, it can be. That's really in the difficult divorces, but where you have like the plaintiff over here and the defendant over here. When you go to court, it is like that. Passing this stuff over to this person, to your ex it's a lot. So it's not super expensive. For me, it wasn't anyway. It takes a lot of planning, especially when you have children. So just make sure that you guys know what you want for your child and what's best for your child, etc. Divorce is difficult. You go from having a life with one person that you expected to spend your life with, and to being in a routine with that person, and all of a sudden that routine is gone, so you don't really know how to handle it. And that's one other thing that I talked about in my other video that I made when we first separated, is about the change and how you go from having this one life and knowing what your plans are to not knowing at all. And that's one other thing that I'm going to talk about in this series too, is starting over. In this series, we're going to talk about kids, just different things that you go through, and especially being a woman and how you deal with certain things. One other thing I will say is therapy is always a good thing. I did therapy for a little bit. It kind of helped me with dealing with everything. The transition to being a single mom, that helped with that. And of course, Christ. God helps with that also. Just praying and believing that everything is going to be okay. God will not take you through anything that you can't handle. And that's the one thing that I thought about, was that. And just my favorite verse from the Bible is, "Be still and know that I am God." And that's what played over and over in my head during the whole process of the divorce and getting through everything, and just on my day-to-day life now too. So that's pretty much the advice that I can really give on marriage and divorce. Just when you're preparing to get married, or when you're getting ready to go through a divorce, and just knowing that everything's going great. I'm in a wonderful relationship right now with someone that's, awesome. A lot of fun, and just, it's a great relationship. My daughter's happy. I'm happy. I have blonde hair. So everything is pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my next video in this series about that, you deal with as a woman. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so below. I really appreciate that. I want to do some things that are a little bit different with this channel than what I used to do before. I used to do a lot of makeup videos in the past, and you will see that sometimes. Vlog videos. It's going to be DIY. It's more like a lifestyle channel now. Go ahead and leave comments below what you want to see from me and my channel. Advice, tips. Let me know if you've been through divorce, how you dealt with it. You're getting ready to get married, let me know about it. Be happy to hear about that. And you guys have a great day. Bye.